Abandoned Farmhouse by Ted Kooser. He was a big man, says the size of his shoes, on a pile of broken dishes by the house. A tall man, too, says the length of the bed in an upstairs room. And a good, God-fearing man, says the Bible with a broken back, on the floor below the window, dusty with the sun. But not a man for farming, says the fields cluttered with boulders and the leaky barn. A woman lived with him, says the bedroom wall, papered with lilacs, and the kitchen shelves, covered with oilcloth. And they had a child, says the sandbox made from a tractor tire. Money was scarce, says the jars of plum preserves and canned tomatoes sealed in the cellar hole. And the winter's cold, say the rags in the window frames. It was lonely here, says the narrow country road. Something went wrong, says the empty house and the weed-choked yard. Stones in the fields say he was not a farmer. The still sealed jars in the cellar says she left in a nervous haste. And the child? Its toys are strewn in the yard like branches after a storm. A rubber cow, a rusty tractor with a broken plow, a doll in overalls. Something went wrong, they say.
This poem because it stood out to me, and the setting, which is the old abandoned farmhouse, reminds me of my aunt's farmhouse, where I spent a lot of my childhood summers. Kooser uses one of the major themes as abandonment in this poem, saying how it was lonely there. He also uses a lot of alliteration, for example, good God-fearing man and Bible with a broken back. There's also a lot of personification. He uses this to help tell the story of the man and his family because they're never physically present. It just tells about them through the perceptions and objects that are in the house. For example, we know that there's a child because of the sandbox and the toys that were strewn across the yard. And we could tell that the man was tall because of the length of the bed and the size of his